Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Momentum number 192. Today, we're talking about the ninth thing your VA can do better than you. Again, this whole series is dedicated to just understanding all the things that your VA should be taking off your plate, not necessarily saying, hey, you suck. It's more like, hey, your VA can do more than what you give them credit for, right? So, up to this point, we talked about a lot of things, 8 things to be exact, anywhere from prospecting to pulling data to driving for dollars to selling property, so many different things. But today's the ninth installment of that. So, guys, welcome in. It is 10:21 here in Arizona, so it's already past midnight on the East Coast. So, guys, if you tuned in and you watched and you were a part of the webinar for the Zero to Hero final drop, it's the final time we're giving access to Zero to Hero for probably the next 3 to 4 weeks. Hopefully, you guys were a part of that. You took action on it, and you're joining us on the Zero to Hero Challenge. So I'm excited for you guys. But ultimately, the point of this live here today is to talk about VA stuff. So the ninth thing your virtual assistant can do, right, guys? We've talked about a lot of things, everything from cold calling, texting, pulling data to having them manage your social media so you start building a brand, to selling your deals, to marketing your deals, to driving for dollars, having training your VA to do sales, so much stuff. Today, I want to talk about what makes it all work. What I have this one VA within my team, and I call her the glue girl. She makes everything happen. And this is something that I think everyone should have in their business. Doesn't matter if you're a Start Virtual or not. The position kind of came out of necessity for us, but I hope even if you're not a client with us, you have this role and you have someone there. And then that thing is someone to help you manage and train and develop your virtual assistants. Because reality is you can't be there always, right? You can't be there for one-on-ones always. You can't be there for the daily meetings always. We have on our team, her name is Karen, and Karen is our client success manager, customer success manager, whatever you want to call them, CSM. It comes built in with our Start Virtual service, but ultimately she is my personal CSM within our team. And we call her Team Mama, right? So one of the big things that Karen does is she does one-on-ones, one-on-one trainings with the virtual assistant. So she goes in, she pulls call recordings, she has her one-on-one training saying, hey, I've been listening to your calls. I think you can get better here, here, and here, or you're actually doing really good here, here, and here. Like it's her job to identify our talent, to find holes in the knowledge, in the understanding of our virtual assistants, and the professional development of our virtual assistant team, and to go in and problem solve and make them better. Like that, like she is absolutely crucial. I don't have the time to do it. I mean, I would love to do it. I love my virtual assistants. There was a time where my team was small enough. We had like 5 or 6 virtual assistants where I could realistically have about a 15-minute meeting with every one of them. Well, there came a time where I know the value of meeting with my virtual assistants and keeping that good culture, but I didn't have enough time to do it. So Karen became that person. She became that person to be super consistent with doing these meetings, and it has changed everything in our business because number one, I don't have to be there, but number two, I trust her that she can run the huddles, she can do the one-on-ones with the virtual assistants, and she's there for further like professional development. If they have questions, if they need any kind of concerns, they know they can always turn to Karen. She has their best interest in mind. And an interesting thing happens. Like I will ask my virtual team, I'm like, hey guys, give me like what do you think as like the leader? What can I do better? How can I better put you in a position to win? A lot of times they'd be like, Matt, thank you. No, everything's good. The business is great, right? But then we'll send them a survey, anonymous, Karen will, and Karen's like, hey, just want to prepare for our one-on-ones. But this is an anonymous survey. Like, I want to get your guys' perspective. And then they'll go, well, like this to happen and that to happen. So things they wouldn't bring directly to me, they bring to Karen, and Karen's able to work with them. Like, I don't know if it's like a boss dynamic or the owner dynamic, or maybe they're just afraid to tell me these things or whatever. But ultimately, it's important that I keep a pulse on my business. It's important that I keep a pulse on the people within my business. It doesn't matter if they're virtual assistants or it's my physical team. Like today, I went and hung out. Like right now, we have a lot of our sales team going to Pace's house. Like I went over there and hung out for most of the day. I was able to say, hey, we have these leads going, like, and it's also a ton of fun. I just like being around it, right? I like seeing the business working. I like being there for the team, the guys, like, hey, what do you need help with? What do you need support? And it's crazy. But like ultimately, I would have it no other way. But I love that dynamic, and I love being able to keep and implement culture. But it doesn't matter that a lot of times, like Karen, it doesn't matter if it's a virtual assistant team or a physical sales team, they need to be checked in on, right? I can't always be there to check in on them. I can't always address their concerns. So the ninth thing your virtual assistant can do better than you is staying on top of developing your not just your virtual assistants, but just everyone in your business. They can implement your culture. They can implement the trainings that you're hoping to do. We video record everything and we put it in Trainual, and we have a learning library. So our team can always get better, and employee number 7 or 8 gets the same training that employee number 1 or 2 got. Right. So it's just something for you guys to think about as your business gets up and going, and your business is, right now is foundational, right? It's still infant stage. It's important that you start putting these pieces into place. So when you do start to scale, because I don't know about you guys, I know a lot of you guys are here that you want your businesses to grow past, a couple grand a month, 5 grand a month. A lot of you guys here watch want to make 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 grand a month, right? So it's important you have these things in place. Raymond, what's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's important you guys have these things in place, man. So when the time does come, you're not repeating yourself over and over and over. You got to have yourself a Karen. Okay. They like without her, like, I mean, I don't know what would be happening with our virtual assistant team. I know, when we have masterminds, we have people come out, we do our Zoom meetings just like we do every single day. When people see it and they're like, oh my gosh, your people are so excited. Oh my gosh, your people are so skilled. Like, I owe that to my CSM. I owe that to my Karen because she stays on top of it. She makes sure the VAs are getting everything that they need to get their questions answered in live time. Because if you leave it up to me, it'll take 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. Yeah, let me get back to you. But I have a million other things to do besides that. So if I want consistency in anything that I do, right? People's concerns, questions, and their development is foundational for that. But I don't always have the time to do that, and I really shouldn't, because that doesn't serve me. That doesn't serve my best skill set. My best skill set is working on higher level things, not just people development. It absolutely has to be done. It's not like I'm not sitting here saying that it's not important, because it is probably one of the most important things, but it doesn't serve me and what am I level 10 in. So guys, as you start to grow, you got to say, hey, what am I good at? Like, what is the thing that I want to spend my most time in, because it gives me energy, right? So for me, that's not that particular thing, but it gives Karen a ton of energy. Karen loves it, and the team loves Karen. And it's just this amazing dynamic of people being able to open up and talk to Karen, right? But also, they know that dynamic of, hey, Karen's going to give me what I need, and she's going to be honest. She's going to say, hey, this is how you can improve. This is how you get better. But she is there for them and always there to support them. So the ninth thing your VA can do better than you is support the team and be there as that constant rock of consistently working with them, consistently having one-on-ones every week, consistently seeing them every single morning in the huddles, consistently doing the call calibrations once a week, consistently putting together the town halls, right? They are like the face of everything that you're trying to do. So I really give it up to Karen. Just like Mark manages our systems and the data side that I explained to you guys on day 3, Karen handles everything on developing our virtual assistant team, right? She is absolutely crucial. We could not run our business without her. So cool thing about Start Virtual is we have CSMs built into our service to make sure that the VAs are getting developed. They don't just manage one VA. They typically manage anywhere from 10 to 12, right? But the cool thing with that is they have a cluster of virtual assistants that even if you start with our service and you're like, hey, I want one VA, or hey, I want 2 VAs, cool thing is they're not alone. They're not by themselves, right? They have a whole other cluster of VAs that are like, maybe they're deployed with other clients, right? But they have knowledge, they have expertise, and they can learn from each other. You guys saw, or if you're a part of Zero to Hero, you get to see that in live time, because Daryl and Jerome were basically the 2 VAs we hired directly at that time. And I wasn't there to be able to say, hey, especially the first day, let me listen to your calls, let me do this, let me do that. they were able to utilize the other VAs in their cluster to give them the support that they need to get better faster. So I'm telling you, the CSM is a game changer. It is something we've implemented that, for about 2 years ago, we saw the importance of doing this, and it has made the biggest difference in our business. So regardless if you're a client of ours or not, obviously I'm biased because I believe our stuff is the best because it's what we do. It's like everything that we do actually, and it's what I believe in. It's what I talk about here on my channel. It's virtual assistants, virtual assistants, virtual assistants. I promise you guys, this stuff can be done, and they can take on bigger roles than what you believe. It's funny because it's like the same thing. My wife tells me about our baby. She's like, "Hey, he can do more than what you think. You just got to let him do his thing. You got to let him show you how much he can do. Like he can do more than you give him credit for." And it's funny because like I don't mean to make that analogy lightly, but for real, sometimes we treat our virtual assistants like they're babies and they can't do, they can only do certain things. Got to put them in this box. I can only give them this task, and that's all they can do. Guys, this whole conversation here, this whole series of 30 things your VA can do better than you, is to open your mind up and say, yo, I need to give more responsibility here, right? Obviously structured. And we talked about delegating properly by defining, demonstrating, and documenting, right? But when you do those things, you start giving away some responsibilities, frees your time up, and it changes everything for you. So today, guys, thank you for tuning in. The ninth thing your VA can do better than you is train and develop your virtual assistants consistently. So hopefully you got some value from today. If you want to see more about the structure and how we're able to implement that, I'm happy to help. Shoot me an email, mattbeard@startvirtual.com. Comment on this video. I promise you I will get back to you. But guys, thanks again for coming and hanging out with me on a freaking Thursday night with so much stuff going on. If you took action on Zero to Hero, I'll see you in the Facebook group. Guys, I appreciate you as always. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.